Today I'm taking you through a quick beginner-friendly core workout. It's gonna take us maybe 12-15 minutes with demo and the work. Now, I mentioned that this is a beginner-friendly workout, but I'm gonna give you options along the way to make it a little bit easier, but also if you'd like to make it a little bit harder. Now, this workout is totally suitable for everybody. So you're gonna go at your own pace and you're gonna modify however you need. That might mean slowing it down. That might mean doing a completely different move. So just do what's good for you. Now, we're not gonna warm up before we do this workout, but if you feel like you need to warm up, then I would suggest you hit pause and maybe jog on the spot or march on the spot for a few seconds. This would actually be a really great workout to add to the end of one of our strength training workouts in our exercise library, or even adding it to one of our cardio workouts. Of course, it's also really great to do just on its own. Now, I'll demo each move before we start so you'll know what to expect, and then I'll give you cueing and modifications as we go. So today we have 4 different exercises that we're going to do. We're going to be working for 30 seconds and resting and transitioning for 15 seconds. So 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. We are going to do 3 rounds of those 4 moves, okay? Are you ready? So the moves we're going to do today is a side plank. So we're going to do side plank on one side. Then we're gonna do side plank on the other side. We are going to do a modified leg raise, and then we're going to do Superman or Superwoman. All right, this is what they look like. So for the side plank, I'm gonna show you the modified version, but what you wanna think about is having your elbow stacked underneath your shoulder. Then we're gonna be lifting up through our hips, but I want you to try and keep that shoulder also in line, okay? So you're gonna think about extending through your hip, pulling your belly button in, and keeping the bottom side of your body tight. So you're gonna be on your knee. You could also have that top leg extended, and if you're feeling pretty good, you can try and go on your feet, okay? So those are a few different options for that. We're gonna do 30 seconds on one side, then we're gonna flip over and do 30 seconds on the other side. I'm gonna give you a few little ways we can spice that up as we go too. All right, and then we're flipping over onto our back for a modified leg raise. So with this one, you're gonna be on your back, and I really want you to think about pulling your belly button down to the floor and keeping your back pressed to the mat. If you would like, what I'd recommend is actually putting your hands underneath your hips. That gives you a little bit of a pelvic tilt, and it's gonna help you to keep that back pressed down to the mat, okay? So with the modified leg raise, you're gonna have a little bit of a bend in your knees. I'm really thinking about pulling that core down. You're gonna lower and lift. Really, really trying to keep it slow and controlled, and trying to keep that back pressed down at all times, okay? So if at any point you feel like your lower back is starting to peel off the ground, I'd like you to make a little adjustment or reduce your range of motion. And if it's still not feeling good, then I'm gonna suggest that you do a different move. Now, if you're a veteran with the leg raises, you can do these with your legs extended, but the same rules apply, okay? Back stays nice and flat to the ground, okay? Our last move is basically gonna be the opposite of that. We're gonna flip down, flip around onto your stomach. I want you to keep your chin tucked and your eyes down on the floor. You're gonna extend through your arms and legs, squeezing your glutes, really gently, smoothly, and controlled, lifting and lowering, okay? If you need to modify this one, you can keep your legs on the ground and just do the upper body. Right, the name of the game with that one is to keep it smooth and controlled. Bigger and higher does not make it better. All right, are you ready to go? Let's get ready to get into that side plank. Here we go. Elbow stacked underneath that shoulder. We're just holding it here for 30 seconds. I want you to make it active though. We're not just hanging out. I want you to think about tightening that bottom side of your body here, squeezing that bottom butt cheek, and zipping your belly button in. Now, if you're here, that's okay. That might be where you're starting, but I'd like you to work towards opening up that top shoulder. You can even extend your arm. You got 5 more seconds. Hold it, keep it tight. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna flip over and do the same thing on the other side. So whatever you did on that side, try and repeat on this side. If you would like to try a more challenging version, then save that for the next round, okay? So elbow underneath your shoulder. Belly button in, here we go. Press it up. So remember, you could extend that leg. But remember, think about tightening that bottom side of your body, pulling your belly button in nice and tight. Breathe. Now, if you're kind of curved over, see if you can work towards opening up through that top shoulder. Keep it tight. You got 10 seconds. Remember, we're fighting against gravity in the plank. That's why it works. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to flip over into that modified leg raise. So, the name of the game here, remember, is to keep that lower back pressed to the mat at all times. So hands under your hips, pulling that belly button to the floor, a bend in the knees, and just in a very smooth and controlled way, lifting and lowering down to the floor. Remember, if you want to try and make it a little bit harder, you're going to maybe work towards extending the legs. If you need to make it a little bit easier, remember, if you feel that lower back peeling off the ground, you need to modify. You can make it smaller. This is still very effective if you're really, really trying to press that back down to the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, on your tummy, time to fly. So roll over, Superman, okay? So you're gonna extend through your arms and legs. Remember, keep your eyes down on the floor. You can do your upper and lower body. Here we go, let's do it. Or you can do just your upper body. Remember, it's smooth and controlled. Okay, higher does not make it better. Now you're gonna feel a little bit of a contraction through your lower back. And that's actually what we're shooting for. We don't want it to be pain, but we are definitely working those muscles, okay? Your core goes all the way around. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. All right, come on up. We're gonna hit that side plank again. So going to that side that you started with. So now, as I mentioned, your core goes all the way around. I know we often think just about sort of the six-pack muscles, but your core involves your back as well. Okay, here we go, side plank. Round 2, pressing it up. Now, if you felt really pretty good here, think about extending that leg, maybe even lifting that leg. But I want you thinking about pulling that belly button in nice and tight and keeping that bottom side of your body nice and tight as well. Remember, think about keeping that top shoulder open as well. And you can kind of force it by extending through that arm. You got 5 more seconds. Hold it, squeeze it, come on. Squeeze that bottom butt cheek. 3, 2, and 1. Let's flip over, other side. Now, I want you to still do what you did on that first side, but I'm gonna show you a couple different options. So here we go. Elbow, shoulder. Time is on, let's go, press it up. I'm on my feet. So I have my feet stacked. You could also have your feet staggered, but the same rules apply. Nice full extension through the hip. I'm thinking about squeezing and tightening that bottom side of my body, pulling that belly button in nice and tight, and I want to try and open up that top shoulder. Okay, you got 10 seconds. If you're feeling really good, throw in a dip. If you try it and you get tired, just come back down to your knees. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Okay, leg raises, modified leg raises. Remember, these can be very small. You must keep that lower back pressed down to the floor, okay? Are you ready? Hands under your hips to tuck them under, and here we go. So really, all I want you thinking about is really anchoring that lower back to the mat. So there's absolutely no air underneath your lower back. Make it as small as you need to. You could even tuck your chin a little bit. If that helps you to keep your back pressed down, almost there. You've got 3, 2, and 1. That move is not easy, even modified. Remember, the full version would be with your legs extended. Roll over. Time for those Supermans. Remember, you're gonna lift and lower. Very, very smooth and controlled. Quality over quantity. Ready? Here we go. Up and down. So you're gonna wanna squeeze your glutes a little bit if you're lifting your legs. Remember, just doing your upper body is the option. You don't need to come up very high. Make sure you're breathing. Keep those eyes down on the floor. All right, almost there. You got 10 seconds. You could even try For the last 5 seconds, just holding it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's go through those one more time. Now, as I mentioned, if you're starting to feel pretty good about that side plank, think about maybe leveling it up. Okay, here we go. Elbow, shoulder, bridge up, shoulder, open up through that chest. Reach for the ceiling if you can. You might have your knees or your hips a little bit bent. That's okay. What I want you to think about working towards is extending through that hip, tightening through that core, tightening that bottom side of the body, tightening that bottom butt cheek, and just keeping it nice and strong. You're almost there. You've got 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so if you're doing the plank properly, any plank variation, it should be extremely difficult, even the modified version. Okay, so let's flip around. This is your last time. Elbow, shoulder, press up, squeeze it, pull it in. So think about drawing that belly button in towards your spine, tightening that bottom side, squeezing that butt. Are you kind of curved over? See if you can open up through that top shoulder. Might help to reach for the sky, but keep actively keeping it nice and tight all the way through. You can even feel it. Is it tight? Okay, 5 seconds. Come on, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh! All right, on your back, last 2 moves. We've got that modified leg raise. I'm gonna give you one more way to modify it if you need to. Okay, here we go. Hands under your hips. Back press to the mat, belly button pulled down. Now, if you need to just modify it a little bit more, one more step would be to do it one leg at a time. Okay, so that would be sort of level 1. Level 2 would be both. Okay, and then to start working at making it harder, you'd be working more towards extending through the legs. But the name of the game is to make it smooth and controlled and make sure that there's no air under that lower back. Woo, okay, we have one more move. Roll over. Oh. Are you ready? Okay, get ready. So either just the upper or upper and lower together. Make it smooth, and it can be small. Don't worry about coming up off the floor. Now, if you have a really sensitive back, this might not be the best move for you. So think about modifying it, and if you still aren't feeling too good about it, then you absolutely want to just do a different core move, okay? So never force anything. You're almost there. You got 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that does it. We're gonna do a super quick little stretch. So grab a quick sip of water if you need it. Otherwise, we'll just do a quick little stretch here. So just from a seated position, just want you to think about reaching forward, tucking your chin. Oh, just rounding through your back. It feels pretty good. Now from a seated position here again, just reach. That's gonna stretch your obliques a little bit. You could do this standing, of course. Those side planks, we were working our obliques. So just a nice reach. Just always feels good to stretch our body. We live in sort of a tense way, all tightened up and scrunched up. So it just feels good to stretch. And last but not least, my favorite stretch anytime, no matter what, is always that child's pose. So on your knees, your feet are together, but your knees are apart. You're just gonna carefully walk your hands forward and just put your head down and have a little nap. Now just reach. It feels nice for your hips and your lower back. Ah. And when you're ready, just walk your hands back up. All right, thank you so much for joining me for this core workout. I hope that you enjoyed it, and make sure you check out some of our other exercise videos